Becky's escape ends in horror. Coronation Street braces for a night of devastation. Weatherfield is poised to erupt next week as Coronation Street unleashes a relentless, pulse-pounding sequence of events that will leave viewers reeling. Becky Swain's desperate attempt to flee her past spirals into catastrophe, dragging Lisa and little Betsy into a night of chaos that ripples far beyond the cobbles. What begins as an escape becomes a tragedy that draws in some of the soap's most iconic figures and sets the stage for a dramatic crossover with Emmerdale, promising consequences that will scar multiple lives. It all begins with fear. Overwhelmed by her past and driven by a raw instinct to run, Becky makes a daring and reckless choice, to leave Weatherfield behind for good. Determined not to go alone, she plans to take Lisa and Betsy with her, heading for the port with hopes of starting afresh in Rotterdam. But she is not as far ahead as she thinks. Kit and Carla are already closing in. When Kit discovers Becky's abandoned car, he quickly finds Carla, and together they piece together the chilling reality of Becky's plan. The race is on. As they speed toward the port, tension mounts with every passing minute, the fear growing that they may reach her too late. Behind the wheel, Becky is unraveling. Her attention is split between the storm-lashed road and a tense phone call from Lisa. Anxious, distracted, and running on adrenaline, she makes a fatal mistake, taking her eyes off the road for just a moment. It is an error that will unleash devastating consequences. Elsewhere, the night is already teetering on disaster. At the wedding reception, Debbie struggles to conceal her unease beneath forced smiles and celebration. Oblivious to the fact that much of his money is fake, a drunken Carl stumbles away from the party, dragging a terrified Debbie with him. His reckless decision to drive only deepens the unfolding chaos. Meanwhile, a minibus carrying Todd, Billy, James, Asher, Cassie, David, Shona, Steve, and Tracy makes its way back toward Weatherfield, unaware that they are heading straight into the path of catastrophe. As Becky speeds through storm-soaked roads between Hatton and Weatherfield, Kit and Carla draw ever closer. Rain lashes the tarmac, visibility plummets, and desperation clouds judgment. Then, in a heart-stopping moment, Becky loses control. What follows is sheer pandemonium. A multi-vehicle pile-up erupts, threatening every life on the road. The minibus swerves violently as Billy fights to keep control, narrowly avoiding total disaster. Carl's intoxicated driving makes matters worse, his car skidding across lanes, amplifying the terror. Vehicles collide, headlights shatter, glass explodes into the darkness. The storm transforms the road into a deadly trap with no escape. Kit and Carla arrive at the wreckage and spring into action, fear and determination etched across their faces. Becky, Lisa, and Betsy are pulled from the twisted metal, shaken and trembling. But it is the minibus that has taken the full force of the impact. Billy and Debbie are trapped inside, their struggle to escape filled with raw terror as the consequences of Becky's and Carl's choices ripple outward. The aftermath is harrowing. Hatton General becomes the epicenter of heartbreak as the injured are rushed into emergency care. Medical staff work with relentless efficiency, but the emotional toll on Weatherfield's residents is immeasurable. Kit and Carla arrive first, soaked to the skin and exhausted, guilt and dread hanging heavy between them. Hospital corridors blur into a frenzy of flashing monitors, anxious relatives, and whispered prayers. Among the casualties is a beloved resident whose death sends shockwaves through the community. Families are left grappling with grief, guilt, and the unbearable weight of what if. For one couple, the agony deepens as life or death surgery unfolds under the watchful eyes of loved ones. Outside, Weatherfield and Hatton unite in shared mourning. Kevin clutches Abby tightly. Ronnie paces in silence. Billy sits with his head bowed, the burden of the night pressing heavily upon him. Debbie's friends and family huddle together, bound by fear and fragile hope. Carl, meanwhile, is led away in handcuffs, the cold metallic click underscoring the gravity of his actions. The police investigation begins immediately. Breathalyzer tests, witness statements, and the looming specter of negligence charges extend the tension far beyond the hospital walls. Rumors ripple through the streets as residents struggle to make sense of the devastation. Yet one question echoes louder than blame. How will Weatherfield ever recover? Inside the hospital, Becky finally confronts the full weight of what she has done. Sitting beside Lisa, she watches Kit and Carla move with quiet intensity, living reminders of the lives altered by her choices. Carla's silence is devastating. Her presence alone feels like judgment, a constant reminder that every reckless decision has culminated in shattered glass, twisted metal, and lives forever changed. The crossover with Emmerdale heightens the danger still further. Characters from both worlds find themselves entangled in the fallout, alliances tested and long-buried secrets exposed. The stormy night becomes more than a setting. It is a catalyst for a collision of worlds, uniting Weatherfield and Hatton in grief, heroism, and heartbreak. The emotional consequences will dominate the weeks ahead. Relationships fracture under pressure. Families are torn apart. A community must come to terms with a tragedy born from desperation. Becky's attempt at freedom was meant to be liberation, a chance to protect those she loved and rewrite her story. Instead, it unleashed a chain of events that altered countless lives. As investigations continue and the dust begins to settle, one truth is undeniable: Weatherfield will never be the same. The streets bear scars, hearts lie broken, and the intertwined lives of its residents stand as a powerful testament to consequence, courage, and the bonds that hold this community together. With one beloved life lost, others hanging in the balance, and justice looming, next week's episodes promise heartbreak, shock, and edge-of-your-seat drama. Becky's escape may have ended in horror, but the echoes of that night will reverberate through Weatherfield and Hatton for months to come. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more spoilers next week. Goodbye, and see you again.